UFC on ESPN, Cain Velasquez versus Francis Ngannou is a fight that I feel like I've seen play out 5 times now in the heavyweight division. And of course, when I say 5 times, I don't mean that these guys have faced each other 5 times. I mean, I've seen this specific stylistic matchup play out numerous times in this weight class. And because of this, I feel like the path to victory is very clear for each fighter. This will not be the first time Cain Velasquez will be in there with a big, fast, and powerful, heavy-handed striker. And this also will not be the first time Francis Ngannou will be in there with an explosive, high-level wrestler. They also have experience with winning and losing to this specific style of fighter they're about to face. Cain Velasquez, of course, was stopped by Junior Dos Santos the first time they met, and then he came back and completely dominated him twice after that. And Francis Ngannou on his part was completely schooled by Stipe Miocic, and then came back to face another good wrestler in Curtis Blaydes and stopped him in the first round. So the experience is there for both guys. This is not going to be a brand new experience stylistically, and that makes it quite interesting for me. When I look at this fight, it seems the path to victory for the striker is the big shot early in the fight, specifically the overhand right. Cain Velasquez was floored by this very punch when he fought JDS, and this is the same exact punch that floored Curtis Blaydes in his rematch with Francis Ngannou. When it comes to the grappler, the path to victory is longer but also quite clear. You gotta take the powerful striker into deep waters and then drown him. This is how Cain was able to get his revenge on Junior Dos Santos twice, and also how Stipe Miocic was able to beat Francis Ngannou and derail the hype train. Which now leads us to the questions of this fight, questions that I'm personally looking forward to seeing these guys answer. With Cain Velasquez, the questions I have are as follows. 1. How much will this layoff affect his conditioning? Especially because, the main reason he has been out for so long is due to injuries. And man, to have the kind of conditioning that Cain has as a heavyweight must require an insane amount of work. And I just kind of wonder, if he has been able to maintain all of that while also recovering from injuries. The second question I have for Cain Velasquez is, can he avoid taking any big shots from Francis? And I gotta say, man, watching this open workout and seeing them mostly focusing on his reflexes, reactions, head movement, it's pretty clear that a huge focus in their camp was avoiding those big shots, not taking damage as you enter that pocket to engage in grappling. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he deals with all that. And then the last question for Cain Velasquez is, if he does get hit with a big shot from Francis Ngannou, can he survive it? This one seems kind of obvious because we've seen Cain Velasquez take shots and go down, and he isn't exactly known for having, a solid chin. He's not known for a Roy Nelson type of chin or a Mark Hunt type of chin. We've seen him drop repeatedly by guys like Chet Congo. I believe he was also dropped by Ben Rothwell. We've seen him get knocked out by JDS. We've seen him get dropped by Fabricio Verdum, and now he is facing the hardest hitter he has ever faced. So who knows? I'm looking forward to seeing this specific question answered by Cain Velasquez in the fight. When it comes to Francis Ngannou, the very first question that I have is he going to make the same mistakes that he made against Stipe and completely bank on his power to win this fight? When he fought Stipe, it was almost like he had no respect for any other aspect of fighting. It was almost like no other aspect of fighting was valid to him. His opponents could not move their head and their feet to avoid those big shots. He couldn't be grabbed and have that uber aggression slowed down. His accuracy was, superhuman. And any shot he was going to throw was going to connect and lead to a KO. He was handling that fight like he himself couldn't possibly slow down from all that aggression as the fight progressed. So I'm kind of curious to see if he is going to show up the same way, or is he going to go to the opposite extreme and show up way too passive for this one, kind of like he did against the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Basically, I'm really looking forward to seeing if he has found a balance between aggression and non-aggression, and also see how that's going to play out, especially against an opponent like Cain Velasquez, who you kind of need both if you're going to beat Cain. You need aggression, but you don't want to be too aggressive. And you also need patience, but you don't want to be too patient to where you allow him to overwhelm you with his own aggression. You got to be able to find that sweet spot between aggression and being passive and, countering and leading. I'm very curious to see if Francis has been able to find that sweet spot. The second question for Francis is he going to be able to stop the takedowns? There's no doubt at all that the takedowns will come. At least the takedown attempt will come. He is facing Cain Velasquez, who is a very dominant wrestler in that weight class. So I'm very curious to see if Francis has been able to improve his takedown defense, which of course also includes taking advantage of those small stumbles, like, those little scrambles in between takedown attempts. I want to see if he's going to be able to take advantage of those small, scrambles in there to do damage and punish the actual takedown shot. Or is he going to simply fall every single time, Cain Velasquez touches his legs? And then the last question that I have for Francis is, can he keep up with Cain Velasquez? Just straight up, can he keep up with Cain Velasquez? And I know that this one looks like it has a very obvious answer considering how well conditioned Cain Velasquez is and how quickly Francis got tired against Stipe, but that was the first time ever anyone forced him to experience that. That was the first time anyone ever forced him to go the distance, and he did go the distance. It wasn't like he was finished because he was tired or fatigued. He has that experience now. And as much as 5 rounds definitely favors Cain, and as much as going 5 rounds with Cain Velasquez is an absolute nightmare, let's also not forget that 5 rounds with a man who stays powerful the whole entire fight, a man like Francis Ngannou, a man who can shut your lights out with just one shot, is no joke either. Like, nobody out here is looking to go 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou, even if he is tired in the later rounds, because he is going to carry that brain rattling power into the later rounds. So as much as a 5-round fight might favor Cain Velasquez, he's going to be in danger for all 5 rounds. And hey, what if Cain Velasquez gets tagged a few times? What if he gets hurt? And that speeds up his own fatigue, because you do lose stamina when you get rocked. A lot of questions, man, a lot of questions, and I'm looking forward to definitely seeing what improvements Francis has made in that regard. I really want to see if this man will be able to slow down Cain Velasquez with some damage, and if not, is he going to be able to keep up with Cain? This fight happens very soon. And when it's all said and done, Cain Velasquez is either going to realize that the time off was terrible for him and he can no longer compete with these guys anymore, or he's going to realize that he is still one of the absolute best heavyweights in the world. And for Francis, he is either going to realize that he is way too green, still too green, and just not yet ready for the top dogs in that weight class, or he is going to learn that he is finally a complete mixed martial artist capable of defeating any style put in front of him. We're going to find out very soon, and once the fight is over and all these questions are answered, I'm going to do a recap, go over the questions again and review how these fighters were able to answer or did not answer the questions. And I gotta tell you guys, I really cannot wait. They've weighed in, they are good to go. The fight happens tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a great fight, and as always, man, may the best man win. Let me know in the comment section what your prediction for this fight is. I'm not gonna give any official prediction. I really don't know. A part of me believes that Cain Velasquez is going to be able to, outwork Francis. He's going to be able to mix things up better because he is the more well-rounded fighter. And then also a part of me believes that Francis is going to catch him. In Francis Ngannou's last fight, his last fight versus Curtis Blades, I truly felt like Curtis was going to be able to just out-grapple him the whole entire fight. But one shot over the top ended the fight. It is always possible when you're in there with a powerful man. So I have no idea what will happen. My educated guess would be Cain Velasquez wins the fight, by 5-round domination. Then again, I just literally said that I was not going to make a prediction. So I'm going to end it right here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the fight in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys back here when the fight is over. Stay safe.
Technique here on this submission. So there he is, your winner by submission tonight. How you